Chapter 17. Armando. Marianne urged Diablo into Armando's path. Clearly startled, he allowed a slow smile to spread over his handsome face. What are you doing here? He turned in his saddle to scrutinize their surroundings. She felt her spirit suddenly take flight. Seeing him reel before her, not a vapory figure from her dreams, warmed her heart and sent chills up and down her bare arms. At once she regretted not wearing more acceptable clothing, although her manner of dress was common to him. I stopped Diablo to rest in the shade and drink from the cool river. You are alone? He leaned on the saddle horn. See, she said. I left without permission. She studied the man before her, dressed in brown calzoneries and a white shirt open at the neck. I despise staying confined in the casa on such a beautiful day. Armando tilted his head and gave her a stern look. It's not safe, Marianne. Comanches lurk about and no one would ever find you. We must keep constant watch at La for raiding Indians. He paused. Do you know what they would do to a lovely senorita? The softness in his tone swept over her. Poor Papa, don't scold me, she said. I know you're right, but I'd rather risk the danger than deny myself happiness. Armando dismounted, and without hesitation she followed his lead. Dangerous as it may be, I'm glad to see you. A smile curved at his full lips. But perhaps the next time one or one of the vaqueros should accompany you. Having someone ride with me is not the same. I crave quiet beauty. He stood by his gelding with nearly 20 feet between them. She felt uncertain about approaching him, afraid of her own unbridled emotion, and still bound to Don Lorenzo by her father's pledge. An awkward silence settled like a cloud of dust. Many times in her musing she had spoken openly to him without reservation, but now she merely stared, speechless. She remembered his parting words from her last meeting. He had asked her to forget him, an impossible task when her wakings and sleeping hours were consumed with Armando Garcia. She knew her eyes revealed the carefully guarded secret. I'm happy for La Flor, she said. At last your people can live in peace. Gracias, senorita. We have great joy in the village. A chuckle escaped his lips. Much singing and dancing. La Flor's people love to celebrate. Marianne recalled Isabel and her enticing body. And little Rico, is he well? See, and what of you? Regret swelled inside her until she managed to swallow her tears. I'm well, Armando. He took a step forward. Why do I not believe you? Your angelic face tells me sadness. She moistened her lips. You must be mistaken. Armando glanced about the trees before turning his attention back to her. Emilio tells me you are to marry Lorenzo Sanchez de la Diaz Franco. Marianne smoothed her pale blue riding skirt. She dreaded her reply. It's true. Mi padre arranged the marriage for me. A bride should be radiant, glowing. I hear Senor Sanchez is a good man. Was it her imagination, or did she detect a note of sorrow in his features? He appeared to be very kind. She listened to the birds call to each other. If only they could talk of more pleasant things. Then why are you unhappy? Marianne could not bring herself to answer. She attempted to pray. But for what? Permission to lie or strength to tell Armando the truth? She no longer could keep silent. I feel my heart belongs to another. He started towards her and stopped. And does the man who has stolen your heart know of this? No, I don't believe he fathoms how deep my feelings are. Diablo snorted in protest at the advancing man, and she soothed the stallion. Why haven't you told him? Armando's gentle questioning seared her soul. He brushed back her sombrero and raked his fingers through raven hair. She willed her heart to cease its incessant pounding. Her words must sound strong. Instead, they tumbled from her lips like a baby's babble. The man I love doesn't believe we could ever be together. We come from different worlds, and you love each other. She shook her head and felt her cheeks flush. I'm not certain if he cares for me in that way. An eternity followed. He's afraid of his feelings for the senorita. He cannot give her the fine things she deserves. He walked towards her again, and she commanded Diablo to keep his stance. Releasing hold of her horse, she watched Armando step closer. Me angel, he whispered, let me hold you. Marianne fairly flew into Armando's arm. The moment he grasped her waist, she grasped her arms around his neck. Her world spun in the dizziness of twisting emotion. The scent of him, a mixture of leather and the freshness of the forest, the touch of his strong hands encircling her. Never had she imagined such fever. Me angel, he repeated and pulled her so tightly that she could feel his heart racing as rapidly as his own. Marianne felt a tear slip from her eye, then another. Caught up in his embrace, she wept tears of joy and sadness. How could their love be forbidden? Armando buried his head into her hair, and he quaked ever so slightly. Slowly he swept his fingers across the soft curve of her shoulder and pressed her away to arm's length. With the thumb of his free hand, he gently brushed away the wetness gracing her cheeks. Marianne forced a smile, not wanting him to see her tears. I'm so sorry, he said. I shouldn't have reached for you, and I have no excuse except the need to hold you. Now I have made you cry. She took a breath to gain composure. I'm crying because I thought I would never feel your arms around me. Even at this moment, I stand before you, I feel I'm in another world. A disconcerted look swept over his face. How can two people find love in so short a time? We should be enemies. Instead, we are here like this. Marianne shook her head, and another errant tear trickled down her cheek. I don't want to marry Don Lorenzo. Hush, his sable gaze searched her face. You have no choice. Your padre has decided this. I cannot give you the wealth or the title that Don has to offer. With me, your soft hands, and he brought her fingers to his lips and kissed them, would soon become rough and callous. The work is hard and relentless. It doesn't matter. She touched his cheek. I've never felt this way before. I will never will again. You're young. He grasped his fingers upon his face. One day you'll look back on this and it will all be a young woman's fond memory. No, Armando, I shall never forget you, and I can learn to work and take care of you. But what of the danger? Her eyes widened with his question. Senor Phillips would not rest until I was dead for stealing his daughter, and Senor Sanchez, is he not an honourable man? Did you expect him to merely step aside while his betrothed chose a desperado over him? Armando's words pierced her heart. He spoke the reality of their hopeless situation, even if she didn't want to hear it. But it's so unfair for me to spend my life with a Don who I don't love when I don't love him. His dark gaze boiled into hers. Do you love me and Marianne? I do with all my heart, and I love you more than I thought possible. He paused and kissed her hand again. Then do this for me. Return to your home, as I asked you before. Take your position with the Don as his wife. He sighed deeply. If you truly love me, me angel, this will make me most happy. I want to remember you as the beautiful senorita, not what you grow old too soon from living as a fugitive's wife. This time Marianne could not stop the flow of emotion. Por favor, Armando, must I live my life without you? Indeed you must, he said. I beg of you. Ride Diablo from here and back into the arms of the one you should marry. I have nothing to offer you but unhappiness. My comfort will be knowing you are taken care of without want. Armando moved beyond her grasp. His eyes held his sorrow, no matter how insistent his words. Some day you will have children, and you will want those children to have the best of everything. She struggled to contain her emotion, desiring him to see her smile. Marianne knew he spoke out of love for her, but she couldn't bring herself to believe marrying Don Lorenzo was the answer. My heart will always be with you, she said. I don't need wealth to make me content, but neither do I want you hunted down by my father or the Don. I'll continue to ask Dios for a way. She turned and walked towards Diablo, then whirled around to face him. Whatever Dios asks of me, I will do. For your life, I will do anything. She took one last glimpse of her beloved Armando and sealed it to memory. The way he stood proudly, the light of love in his dark eyes and the faint smile upon his lips. I beg of you to forgive me for so selfishly wanting you, she said. I will never forget you, never. Grasping the stallion's reins in her shaking hand, she pulled herself into the saddle and allowed Diablo to carry her home, the home she did not want. Armando and Amelia rode Armando and Emilia rode the open range from that morning until sunset looking for mustangs. Having rounded up 5 mares that added them to the valley's herd, in the shadows the two leaned against the corral, admiring the increasingly sturdy stock of horse. Armando, Emilio said, then wiped the accumulation of dirt from his round face. You have been quiet all day. Is something wrong? Armando breathed deeply of the night air, noticeably cooler than the steamy temperature of earlier today. Or perhaps his chance meeting with Marianne had caused his discomfort. Earlier this morning, I took a long ride along the banks of the Medina River, a long way. For La Flor, he paused. I saw Marianne with Diablo. Did she see you? Emilio asked. Armando stared out over the horses and fixed his sight on a prize red roan that had been captured earlier. We talked for a while. If I ever wondered about her feelings for me, I learned of them today. She admitted she had feelings similar to my own, strange as the circumstances may be. Isn't the news good? In the shadows, Armando glanced at the man's face. His earnest questioning flashed into Armando's soul. You know she's betrothed to Senor Sanchez, and a life with me promises heartache and sorrow. Her father might forgive. Armando chuckled to keep from weeping like a small boy. He'd see me dead first. Marianne and I would spend our lives on the run, even if the Kringo choose not to track me down. La Flor is not a rich hacienda. I understand, Emilio nodded. He said, I'm so sad for you. I'll work and I'll forget. Armando felt ashamed of his friend, seeing him despondent. Instead, he vowed to cover his wounded heart. Ah, I hear rumors of you and Isabella. He attempted a smile. And did I see her with you keeping watch last night? Perhaps a kiss in the dark. See, Emilio groaned with a broad grin. I like her. Like her, Armando laughed. Like is what we felt as boys. Love is for a man. Emilia shrugged. She cared for you a long time, but now it may be my turn. I hope so, mi amigo. Armando said, I want to see you happy with many sons and daughters. You'll make a good husband and father. Armando turned and braced himself against the back of the fence. The restlessness snapped at his heels like a hungry dog. How he longed to find peace in life at one time. He wanted to think Marianne could ease the need, but he was a loner, haunted by anxiousness for which he knew no cure. Chapter 18. Marianne rode Diablo until late morning. For more than an hour she wept, willing the tears to cease, and her mind to ponder Armando's request. A part of her wished they hadn't met today, that she hadn't been forced to face the impossibility and the frivolousness of their sharing a future together. She hurt beyond any pain caused by her father's rejection. Armando, she shivered at the thought of his nearness. An image of him caused her head to spin, as if she possessed a perpetual fever. As her tears dried, she permanently engraved his every feature in her mind like a fine line of gold, framing a priceless portrait. She would need his memory during the lonely days and nights certain to come. Granted, his undeniably handsome face sent her senses reeling, but she loved his heart more. How could such a man be misunderstood by so many? If she'd learned anything at all from her mother's diligent instruction, it was the importance of judging a man by his character and not his commonly or uncommonly looks. Pondering these things, Marianne well recalled Armando's love for the people of La Flor and his dedication to their happiness. He could have committed any number of atrocities against her while she remained his captive. For a moment she dwelled on the times he had been alone with her. He could have easily used her naivety to steal her innocence. Instead, he saved her life in a raging fire, released her when others wanted her killed, and today urged her to marry Don Lorenzo despite his admittance of love. These things proved him an honourable man, one worthy of any woman's heart. She reluctantly admitted that Armando's manner of forcing Papa's hand in the matter of the village showed a high disregard for the law, but she understood why. Not that Armando's tactics were excusable. No, not by any means. He'd done wrong. Praise God. Governor Elguezabel had ruled with leniency. In the deep recess of her heart, Marianne knew her father still plotted Armando's death, just as Clay had said. So Marianne rode and prayed, desiring God to reveal his purpose in her life. His words stated he had a wonderful plan, and she must simply trust in his provision. Gazing up into an cerulean sky, she watched the billowing clouds roll away like dreams floating aimlessly by. She shook her head and looked to the plains, where the outlines of the house and stables rose like monuments to her father's power, home duties, responsibility. She must come to terms with her feelings for Armando, not tomorrow or on the day of her wedding to Don Lorenzo, but now. Whisking away the wetness flooding her eyes, she sat straighter in the saddle and prayed for strength to keep her resolve. Patting Diablo as she galloped towards the hacienda, Marianne needed to talk to her mother. After relinquishing her stallion to Juan and changing clothes, she sought the company of her mother in the shade of the courtyard. Mamma's parlour appeared somewhat brighter lately, obviously due to her enthusiasm for the upcoming wedding. Mamma, I'm so pleased to see you in the fresh air. Marianne began to place a light kiss on her cheek. You have such a radiant glow about you. God is making you stronger every day. Her mother held her Bible open to the book of Psalms. Thank you. I'm really trying to regain my health. Since we're starting together, I want to memorize scripture as I used to. Marianne smiled. What are you reading? Psalm 61. Her mother peered up into Marianne's face. She wore a lavender morning dress and seated amidst the greenery and flowers. She looked as young as a girl. Daughter, did you ride Diablo without a companion this morning? Knowing she was willfully disobeyed, Marianne chose her words carefully. Yes, Mama, but please accept my apologies, for I know it worries you. She kneeled at her mother's side. I promise you I will never take Diablo out again without a proper escort. Her mother's eyes widened. What has happened that you have decided this? She sighed and took a deep breath. If anyone deserved to know the truth, it was her mother. I thought about many things and I wish to speak about them with you. Her mother tilted her head slightly, allowing a lock of light brown hair to curl down the side of her face. Could it be you have realized your mama and papa do know what is best for you? A smile curved her lips. Perhaps so. Marianne relieved the heaviness of the morning. Are you strong enough for a stroll? Her mother nodded and rose to her feet. Linking arms, they walked through the stone archway and away from the main house. Mama, she began, I have some things I want to tell you, some of which will not be pleasant, but I beg you to listen until I have finished. Does this have anything to do with your aloofness? Since the dreadful incidents when you were taken away, you have been so distant. Yes, Mama, it does. And with you I cannot mask my feelings any longer. She stopped and seized the courage to speak her heart. Today I have a chance meeting with Armando Garcia. Her mother gasped and pouted, but Marianne continued, I want you to know that Armando has done nothing to compromise my innocence. He is far more of a gentleman than you may believe. I don't condone the things he has done. None of us will ever forget the horror of fearing for our lives when Philippe entered our house and abducted me. Yes, I have forgiven all of them. In place of revulsion for Armando, I have found something I've never expected. She glanced into her mother's troubled face. I love Armando Garcia. I am certain of it, as I am of this moment with you today. He spoke from his heart, and I must abide by his wishes. Oh, Marianne, her mother broke into sobs. No, Mama, there is no need to fret any longer. He loves me as I do him, but he asked me to fulfill my obligation to Don Lorenzo as his wife. Armando believes my place is with him. She felt her mother's stiffened body relax. I have wept until I can weep no more, and I have no choice but to obey Papa. To refuse is to break the commandment to honor my mother and my father. I will marry the Don without argument, and I will do my best to be a good wife. Marianne swallowed the tears she thought and vanished. She thought had vanished. I wanted to be truthful with you, and I could no longer keep it all pent up inside me. Her mother's silence weighed on Marianne's mind, but she waited as they walked on. She prayed the news did not send Mama back to bed. I married your Papa because I loved him. However, my father objected. Mama took a laboured breath. He had heard rumours of Western temper and did not approve of his family. I refused to listen and follow my heart. Her mother smiled. As much as I despise Armando Garcia, I understand how you feel, and I appreciate what he has asked of you. You have always shown wisdom in judging character, so perhaps you see a good side of him not evident to me. Thank you, Mama. One more thing. She hesitated and ordered her racing heart to cease its thunderous roar. I have another confession to make, and I fear you will be upset with me. Daughter, I love you. Granted, I may be uncomfortable with what you have to say, but my love will never change. Several long moments passed while Marianne formed her words. The truth is, I speak Spanish, and I have done so for some time. What you did was against your papa's wishes. Marianne nodded. I know, I disobeyed. I suspected you knowledge the evening of your abduction. You were too quick with Carmita's translation, but I believe I know why. Juan and Carmita are dear to you. Yes, Mama. Her mother sighed. While we are being truthful with each other, I have something to tell you, too. What I need to say as your mother is this. I have never regretted my life with your papa, for he has given me you. But my father loved me, and he was a wise man. He did know best. Now I understand his insistence, and many times I wish I had obeyed his wishes. One thing I have realized over the years, her mother paused, if God had not blessed me with you, I would still have Jesus. I am telling you this because the only advice I can give you is to pray for God's leading and do not ignore his voice sometimes. Mama, what else? Marianne searched her mother's face. I know you want to tell me more. Her mother nodded and glanced at the path before them. Sometimes it's hard to understand life, but God always answers prayers. He's perfect and just. Yes, Mama. Marianne silently prodded her mother to say what seemed to plague her. I am with child, her mother said. Marianne covered her mouth. Your health? Oh, Mama, I will be living with the Don then. Who will help you? I have Carmita. This child is part of God's plan. I am pleased, and you know how I have prayed for another baby. Share in my joy, Marianne, for God has blessed me with another opportunity to give Weston what he so desperately wants. Marianne drew her mother close. We have both shared our hearts today. Mama, you are truly my treasure. I will pray for you and the baby every day. I'll tell your papa this evening. He has been working long past sundown, but tonight I plan to tell him the good news. He will be happy, Marianne said, but a twinge of fear caused her to shiver. She wished Mama had grown stronger before conceiving again. Long after dark and near to bedtime, Papa arrived home. Marianne heard him enter through the front door. His heavy boots resounded down the hallway towards them. Shall I go to my room now? Marianne asked. She saw the glow upon her mother's face. Mama's happiness gave Marianne strength to endure the months ahead. Perhaps after you bid your papa good night. Marianne maintained a pleasant demeanour, despite her reluctance to see papa. Usually he came in late, in a fitful mood. She had become accustomed to his familiar scowl. Good evening, Weston. Her mother glanced up from her needlepoint. Hello, papa. He muttered something, but it didn't stop her mother. Is there anything I can get for you? No, he said, with more than a generous supply of gruffness. Marianne wondered why he even bothered to step into her mother's room. I'm going to bed now. She gave her a kiss. Good night. Sleep well. Good night, papa. Did you complete your studies today? He tugged his grey horseshoe-shaped moustache. Yes, sir. The Spanish books on Catholicism were difficult to understand, but she felt bound by her commitment to learn the material. Don Lorenzo expects you to learn quickly. He glared at her as though he expected her to refute his statement. I'll not disappoint him or you. She faced him squarely. May I go to my room? He nodded and clenched his jaw. Marianne wanted so much to see affection in his eyes, but she had nearly given up. Sleep well, papa, with an inward sigh. She brushed past him. Once in her room, Marianne succumbed to the exhaustion from the day. She shed her gown and petticoats for her chemise and crawled into bed. A light breeze blew gently through her window, and she turned her face to let it cool her. She tried to pray, except her mind kept wondering how her mother fared in telling Papa about the baby. In a previous confinement, Papa had treated Mama kindly, which had been a blessing for everyone. She allowed her thoughts to float back to this morning and dwelled longer than she intended upon Armando. They had said their goodbyes, and her dreams lay shattered. Up until now, she had comforted herself in a childish belief that the two of them could somehow be together. That was now in the past. Again she tried to pray, but from deep within her sorrow wrenched through her body. Oh God, help me through this. I can't face another day without you to steady me. I want to be pleasant in your eyes, but I am so miserable. Must I live my life without Armando? How can anything else except for you compare to the joy of his embrace? God would be enough. God would be enough. Thanks for listening.